Confused about which plugins you should use in your mix bus? Well, then you're in the right place, because we're going to be talking about which plugins to use and how to use them on your mix bus. Hi, my name's Tyson. I'm a mastering engineer here at Dinosaur Dog Mastering, and today I want to share with you the 3 stock plugins inside of Logic Pro 10 that I would use to process my mix bus inside of my mix. Before we dive into that though, I do want to give to you a free course on mixing. It is the Pro Mix formula that you can get for free just for watching this video. It's my gift to you. You can get access in the description, or on the first comment there should also be a link where you can get access to this course completely for free. It walks you through the entire mix, as well as explains every single step along the way that you need to make in order to get a professional mix. So make sure you're picking up the Pro Mix formula down below, and without any further ado, let's dive into the actual content of how to process your mix bus and which plugins to use in which order on your mix bus. And the first step in the ultimate mix bus chain is saturation. And a lot of times people aren't sure what saturation really is. And to break it down for you, it is very, very light and subtle distortion that's added to the entire track. It actually adds some additional harmonics and harmonic information, so it makes your mix feel a little bit more complex than it originally was, especially for things that are recorded digitally. This is a great technique to use in order to add some just more feeling and vibe to your track. In Logic Pro, we have the Fat FX, which we can use to add some nice saturation if we want to. So I'm gonna just turn on everything off on here except for the distortion tab. And there are several different things that you can add here. And so I'm just gonna play around. I'm gonna add some maybe tube, some soft saturation, and then let's try just a little bit of excitement as well. So I'm gonna turn all these down. I'm gonna play the track and then just kind of slowly add some additional saturation to this. I'm not coming back. Don't follow me down. I'm just a lost soul. Stop coming around. I'm not coming back. Don't. Okay, so here's without the saturation. Stop coming around. I'm not coming back. Don't follow me down. Subtly adds all of this kind of character to the entire mix. So that's a nice thing to just start out with before we dive into EQ. So let's dive into EQ now and determine what we actually want to do with our EQ. I'm just gonna use a normal channel EQ for this because I've already added some saturation. I don't want to add additional saturation using any of the vintage EQs, which I will often do for a mix bus scenario, but let's just stick with the normal channel EQ and see what we need to do. So I'm gonna be using my analyzer over here. The way I have this set up is with the RMS slow function. So basically a pink noise would be flat across this meter. That's essentially what my goal is with the mix bus EQ, is to make my mix be more balanced. And so to be the best sonically balanced possible, it's gonna match what pink noise generally is. And so it's just gonna be flat across. And so let's look for any holes or any area that's too overhyped and talk about fixing those. I'm coming around, I'm not coming back. Don't follow me down. So we can see that it's really weak on the top end, as well as I have this hole like right at 300 hertz or so. So those are the 2 main things I'm gonna fit. I might wanna boost the bottom end as well, just slightly, because if it's feeling a little bit empty to me overall. I'm going to just do a very, very subtle low shelf there to boost that. I'm gonna boost the 300 hertz range or so by quite a bit. Let's go about 2 decibels and see how that goes. And then also at the top end, I'm gonna add a high shelf around 9 kilohertz or so and boost that by almost 3 decibels. Let's do 2.5. So here is without EQ. I'm coming around, I'm not coming back. Don't follow me down. I'm just a lost soul. Stop coming around. I'm not coming back. Don't follow. Yeah, I like how much more fullness that's bringing into the mix, as well as some nice little sparkly top end stuff. So that is all I'm gonna do for the mix bus EQ. We'll do a little bit more during the mastering stage, but honestly, it sounded pretty good with just those little small, slight changes. If anything's dramatically off, then I might need to go back and adjust my volume balance or some other EQ moves on individual elements. But overall, it sounds pretty good with just those slight moves there on the mix bus itself. So now let's dive into compression. So we're going to be adding a compressor here, and I'm going to be using the vintage VCA, which is the SSL G Comp, very famous bus compressor. So this is my go-to bus compressor when I'm using Logic stock plugins for my mix bus. So let's dive in. What I'm going to use is the 3-to-1 ratio. My E is going to be 0.5. My attack is going to be around 50 milliseconds, between 50 and 100 milliseconds. Auto release function, and then I'm going to move my threshold down till I get 1 decibel of gain reduction. That's it.
I'm coming around, 'cause I'm not coming back. Don't follow me down. I'm coming around, 'cause I'm not coming back. Don't follow me down, 'cause I'm just a lost soul.
You can really feel how much more present that kick drum is, especially with this compressor on there. So if you missed that, go back and re-listen to the A/B there, but there's just some presence that it brings into the mix, and this compressor does add some, kind of magic saturation as well in terms of just thickening everything up and making it sound really good. So, and you can use this on any genre, so don't be afraid that this genre is different than yours. You can still use this. I would use this on a hip hop track. I would use this on a country track. It doesn't matter. This is my go-to mix bus chain for all of my mixes. So hope this is helpful. And if you liked this, then don't forget to pick up that free course down in the description or on the first comment. And I will see you in the next one.